Hello, welcome. I am excited to have you here for our chemical-free home class. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. This is a subject that is near and dear to me and one that has truly become a big passion. Before we begin, I need to tell you straight out, I am not a medical professional. Anything that's said tonight is not shared with the intention of treating or curing any disease. I am merely an informed consumer and am excited to be able to share this information that I have learned with you. So why am I here? My story begins with our oldest daughter. She is now almost 18. And back from the very beginning, from a very early age, she was a sickly child. When she got sick, it almost always presented itself with respiratory issues. She would have trouble breathing, coughing, a yucky nose. And this pattern of sickness continued from the time that she was seven months old up until just a few years ago. She lived on prescription medications, including multiple antibiotics, every year of her life. And when we moved to North Carolina just about 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, she found a whole new set of doctors and a whole new set of specialists. And when we went to those doctors, they wanted to run their own tests. And so they were able to come to the firm conclusion that what she had been battling her whole life was pretty much reactive lung disease. On that visit, we were given her diagnosis and a new treatment plan. And the doctor looked at us and he said, I really want you to look at the cleaners, candles, detergents, and air fresheners that you're using around the house. I want you to look at her personal care products that you're using on her and take a look. Because we had a child that was allergic to everything, I cleaned our house like a mad woman, like my life depended on it, like her life depended on it. If we had it in our house, I pretty much had a cleaner for it. And when we counted, we had about 15 different surface, floor, furniture, and laundry cleaners that we were using every day, every week. And that didn't count the air plugins, it didn't count the candles that I love to burn. That day, the doctor really opened my eyes. I went home, I grabbed my favorite disinfecting wipe, and I typed a Google search on the dangers of and the first ingredient that I came across. What popped as a result of my search showed that the products we used most in our house was known not only for causing respiratory issues, but also organ toxicity, behavior issues, sleep disorders, and a whole host of other scary things. It was at this point I went to my computer and I signed us up for a wholesale account through Young Living. My first order was a starter kit and a bottle of Thieves household cleaner with expedited shipping. I had been told a little bit about Young Living. I knew about the Thieves household cleaner, and I really wanted to make changes in our home. If you've been following our page for any length of time, you may have seen some of the slides that we have up and available to be able to see. And one of them is the slide that's in front of you. And it basically says the average child visits the doctor 23 times in their first 4 years. And the most common ailment is respiratory issue. As we'll go through our presentation tonight, you'll notice that I've tried really hard not to just give you facts and figures, but also places that you can go to see these very same informational tidbits that I'm giving. And this one on the screen right now came from the National Center for Health Statistics. Why do the cleaners that we use affect our bodies? So if these cleaners are so bad for us, how are they affecting us? And these next slides will show us. Within 20 seconds of coming in contact with a chemical compound, your skin will automatically begin absorbing the chemicals that it comes in contact with. 85% of the chemicals that are found on the skin have been absorbed. And it's estimated that at the end of the year, our bodies will hold an additional 5 pounds of chemical compounds. So not only are they causing different medical issues, but our bodies are so jammed up that they're not even expelling the compounds that they're coming in contact with. Think about that. Within 20 seconds, your skin is going to absorb the chemicals. So, what you're washing your clothes are up against your skin all day long. What you're washing your surfaces with, your skin, the exposed skin is touching it. What you're using as your personal products are all going to be absorbed into your body. You may have heard it said that you are what you eat, but it can also be said that you are what you absorb. Over the last 15 years, there have been approximately 10,000 people who have been tested by the CDC to determine their chemical body burden. And what that basically means is how much their bodies, back to that slide that we saw a minute ago, how much their bodies are absorbing chemical wise and how that is affecting their overall health. What was found was that even people who lived in remote areas, think the most pristine countryside, even those people were found to have hundreds of chemical toxins inside their body. But it's not just adults who are affected by chemical toxicity. In a study of the umbilical cords of newborns, more than 287 different toxins were identified in those newborns. Those toxins had been passed from mom to baby. So, how are we being introduced to all of these toxins? If I don't live in a toxic wasteland, my home isn't on an old dumping site or landfill, how am I getting exposed to all of these different toxins? And the answer is as close as the cabinets in your bathroom, your linen closets, your makeup drawer. According to the American Lung Association, the air quality inside your home is 7 times more polluted than the air quality outdoors. It's estimated that Americans spend about 80 to 90% of their time inside their homes. In 1 decade, there has been a 42% increase in asthma, 29% for men, and 82% for women. This higher rate for women is believed to be because of the prolonged exposure to the home and to that of household cleaners. Let's face it, ladies, the bulk of the household chores do fall on our shoulders in most cases. And for that reason, there is an elevated risk for ladies. This information comes directly from the Centers for Disease Control. So, what is it in our cleaners that are making them so dangerous for us? In a piece that the Huffington Post wrote a couple years ago, they found that chemically manufactured cleaners are the number one contributors to this indoor air quality pollution problem. When we think of pollutions, we think of manufacturing plants or diesel engines. Our homes don't even rank on the list, and yet the air quality in your home is 7 times more polluted than the air quality outdoors. But it's not just our cleaning chemicals that's also a problem. It's also our personal care products that we use. While our skin does a great job of holding all the important things in, it is not an impenetrable barrier. This is where being a label reader and an informed consumer is super important. There are so many ingredients in our shampoos, our household cleaners, our laundry detergents, our dryer sheets, and our cosmetics that are known to be dangerous. Tonight, I'm only going to highlight 3 of them. But before we talk about some of those specifics, can you guess what is considered to be the dirtiest of all the household cleaners? The dirtiest of all household cleaners is your dryer sheets, those drop-in dryer sheets or dryer balls. But we said that not only is it our cleaners that are a problem, but the personal care products. If you look at the statistic up at the top of the screen, it says the average woman uses 12 products containing about 168 chemical ingredients every day. The average man uses 6 products with about 85 different chemicals. This is according to the Environmental Working Group. And for the average woman, they say about 80 of those chemicals are put on before we even hit the breakfast table. So let's take a look at a couple of the common ingredients in our everyday household products and see how they affect our body. Our first ingredient was found in my precious disinfecting wipes, and when I looked into alkyl phenol ethylates, I found that approximately 450 million pounds of these APEs for short are produced in the United States every year. Approximately 68 million pounds of them are used in the manufacturing of household cleaning products. This particular chemical is a hormone disruptor. It mimics the hormone estrogen and disrupts the production of testosterone for men. It's been linked to the delay of puberty. It's altered fertility. This chemical's been found in the biopsies of cancerous breast tissue. And it is added to the surface cleaners, all-purpose cleaners, stain removers, laundry detergents, fabric softeners, and floor cleaners. The biggest thing about this APE problem that I found is that this particular chemical is actually banned in part of the EU and in Canada, but yet it continues to be in our cleaning solutions here in America. Our next ingredient is a super tricky one. Phthalates are often labeled as fragrance. So if you see this on your label for your cosmetics or for your cleaning supplies, you will actually know that what they're really saying is phthalates included. This product is used in just about everything. A 2002 report tested a large number of cosmetics. And in that study, it found that 3/4 of the products that they tested actually tested positive for having phthalates present, even though that was not labeled on their label. All that was labeled was that it had fragrance added. Phthalates are linked to reproductive and developmental issues, damaged sperm or low sperm counts, as well as severe respiratory reactions. This product is actually probably sitting on one of your shelves under the alias of a deodorizer or a candle, a fabric softener, detergents, cosmetic, floor cleaner, or even in your furniture polish. The rise in allergies, asthma, endocrine disorders, fertility problems, depression and anxiety, attention issues, sleep disorders, and cancer are all rising at an alarming rate. Our chemical-laden cleaning and personal care products are making and keeping us sick. The last chemical that we're going to talk about is formaldehyde. Manufacturers have gotten tricky, and they've begun to give this ingredient a variety of different names. Just like phthalates are disguised under the name of fragrance, formaldehyde has some prettier names, but it's still a highly toxic substance. This substance is known to be found in mouthwash, hairspray, cleaning products, perfumes, shampoo, air fresheners, toothpaste, and antiperspirants, just to name a few. And due to the increase in toxic buildups in our bodies, including the toxic buildup of formaldehyde, dead bodies are now not decomposing as fast as they used to. An interesting fact is that bodies will now start to decompose within 7 to 10 days after death. During the Vietnam War, Vietnamese bodies would begin to decompose within 24 to 48 hours after death. However, even at that point in the 1970s, Americans, their bodies wouldn't start to decompose until 4 to 5 days after death. But now, all these years later, it takes twice as much formaldehyde as was needed to embalm a person 20 years ago. So now, all of our products are not only making us sicker and increasing the death rate, but they're also preparing us for death long before we are dead. The scary thing is that manufacturers now have a large variety of names for formaldehyde and the chemicals that put off formaldehyde vapors. You may see them as methanol, faniform, methylene glycol, 1,3-dioxetane, formalin, methylene oxide, paraform, or lysoform, just to name a few. Just recently, I was having a conversation with somebody, and we were discussing the overwhelming health crisis that our country is in. These products are definitely making and keeping us sick. Let's think about it this way. If I were to go to your drawers, cabinets, or closets, what would the labels on your products reveal? Before the day that the doctor spoke those words to me all those years ago, I don't know that I ever would have given this a thought. I now know that you can learn a lot from the back of the bottle. Words such as danger, warning, or caution, they're now my trigger words. Not because I've always wanted to just chug down my chemical cleaner, but often because we really are ingesting them at an alarming rate. Think through this scenario with me. You've just finished cleaning your kitchen. You cleaned all your countertops, your cutting boards, and they are shining. And then your child walks in and they ask for a snack. They bring you an apple. You wash the apple vigorously and you place it on your freshly cleaned cutting board and begin to slice and prepare the snack for that child. This plays out daily in my home. So while I'm cutting that apple on my cutting board, the chemicals that I've just cleaned it with have now been transferred onto that food. We want to choose products that are non-toxic enough that they do not require any of the signal words mentioned on the screen. So as we continue to talk about the health crisis that our country has, this next statistic hits me really where it hurts. According to the American Cancer Society, only about 5 to 10% of cancer cases are actually from a genetic root cause. 95% of cancer is a result of diet, lifestyle, or exposure. If switching out my cleaning products is one small thing that I can do to help keep my family out of this statistic, then I sure am gonna try. My family's been deeply affected by cancer. My grandfather lived with a colostomy bag for almost my whole life due to colon cancer. My grandmother battled with cervical cancer in her 50s and won, only to be struck down by a very rare brain cancer in her early 70s. My aunt fought hard against a brain tumor in her 40s, and that fight left her deaf and her face permanently disfigured, but alive, until cancer took her many years later. These family members were not directly linked. It was my paternal grandfather and my maternal grandmother and my aunt. They all lived in different areas of the country, and yet they all battled different forms of cancer, and most likely those were actually from diet, lifestyle, or exposure. And that statistic comes directly from the American Cancer Society. This is super scary stuff to think that our lotions, our shampoos, our cleaners, our detergents, and even our dryer sheets aren't completely safe. But we need to be informed consumers. We can't be like the ostrich and put our head in the sand. As much as I wanted to not hear what that doctor was saying to me, I had to. And this is the reason why. According to a study that was done back in 1995, there was a paper that was written on the environmental triggers and their direct connection to children's health. And what it said was basically today, children have chemical exposures from birth that their parents didn't have until they were adults. Because children are exposed to toxins at an earlier age than adults, they have more time to develop environmentally triggered diseases with long latency periods, such as cancer. The source for this statement was that study. And basically, what that means is that my children are really going to have to fight because the stuff that they're being exposed to, they're being exposed to it much, much earlier than we were or even our grandparents were. So, how do you start taking back your home? That's a great question. That's an awesome question. And the first thing is start slow. Find replacements one at a time. When I came home from that doctor's office, I wanted to grab a trash can and dump every single thing that was in a pot or a bottle, all my makeup, all my cleaners, all my lotions, all my shampoos. I was furious. And frankly, I felt betrayed by these products. I know that seems silly, but I took it personally that the very things that I was trusting to keep my family safe were the very things that were making them sick. The next thing is be a label reader. I know it's so easy. We see them on our shelves. We're so indoctrinated by them coming into our TV on our TV every day while we watch television, and we just assume that if they're out there that we're going to be safe. And the fact of the matter is we're not safe. One of the things that I read was, because of a grandfathered law that was done back in the 1970s. It grandfathered a bunch of chemical compounds that were coming in that were already in existence. And so those chemical compounds are some of the very things that we see within our cleaners. For the longest time, because of this law, asbestos was really, really difficult for the EPA to ban because of that grandfathered law. And so we know asbestos causes cancer. We know that it causes problems. And you really need to be a label reader. You need to know what you're bringing into your house. Do your research. This is the next step. Do your research or get familiar with those who do. Find people who do their research and check out what they're saying. A great app to have to check your personal care products, your cleaners around your house. If you go right now and download, it's called Think Dirty. If you download the Think Dirty app, it will give you the ability to scan a barcode on many, many, many products. Not all of them are on there, but a number of them are on there. And it will tell you, are there carcinogens in that product? Are there things that will link towards respiratory problems or endocrine problems or infertility or miscarriages or organ toxicity? And that it will basically grade that product and tell you how safe that is to be in your home. And once you do that and you do your research, you look at your labels, you see what's in your products, you check them out with the Think Dirty app, take back control. You do not need to buy it just because it was what your mom used or because it's what you've always used. You can change things up and take back control. For me, the way that I took back control was by dumping my cleaners one by one by one. I added in the Thieves Household Cleaner, it's a completely plant-based cleaner. It's got great cleaning properties, so I was still getting the same kind of clean, but I was not cleaning with the chemicals. I was cleaning with natural alternatives. And so this cleaner is able to be used in every room of your house for every cleaning application that your family would need. And it's safe enough that I don't ever have to worry about it being near my kids. I don't ever have to worry about cleaning my counters and then cross-contaminating it with food or whatever. I took back control. And then once you do that, be an ambassador. Tell your friends, tell your family, share the news. The word ambassador is basically defined as a person who acts as a representative or a promoter for a specified activity. Tonight, I'm here as an ambassador, not only for cleaning up our homes and looking at the labels and watching what we're bringing into the house, but I'm also here as a representative for Young Living. Young Living provides tools that we need to get our homes clean and keep it that way. It is so vital to them that people get to live healthy, that they offer their wholesale program in a variety of ways. Our starter kit, which was one of my first purchases, is the only thing on the Young Living website that is half off. Everything that you see on your screen, if you were to add it all up in a regular starter kit, our regular starter kit, if we added it all up, ends up being somewhere between $330 and $400. If you were to buy the starter kit, not only do you get 11 different oils and a diffuser, but you get that all for $160, half off the retail value of what it would be. If you would like to be able to use their products and get them at a discount without needing any monthly minimums, all you need to do is go to our website, www.morein24.com, click on the Young Living tab, and scroll down until you see Purchase Young Living. When you click on that Purchase Young Living, it's going to take you directly through our Young Living site. You're going to click the box that says Wholesale and click Next. And once you do that and you follow the prompts, choosing the starter kit that you'd like to choose from, the diffuser that you'd like to come in your kit, and sign up for our monthly ER program. This gives you discounted shipping. It gives you free product each month for being a part of the program, but it also gives you a way of ordering your monthly staples to clean your house, whether that be your dishwasher detergent, your hand soap, your dish soap, your Thieves household cleaner, toothpaste, shampoo, deodorant, whatever you need. Young Living has prepared a healthier alternative. And what you'll do is, as you purchase on that monthly program, you earn cash back. You earn points for free product in the future. So it really is a win-win. So once you do that, you click Next. Your order will be processed. Your starter kit will ship directly to you, and you can begin oiling your way into a healthier lifestyle. I hope that after this class, you will go take a look at the chemicals that are underneath your sinks, that are in your cabinets. Go do a Google search, the dangers of. And then when you do the Google search of the dangers of, and then pick any kind of the ingredient. Find out what's in the products that you're using every day. And once you do, if you don't like what you see, I really hope that you'll go to Young Living, that you'll go to Morein24, go to the Purchase Young Living tab, and order your premium starter kit today. Thanks. Have a great day.